Hola, are you working? Okay, good. We have liftoff. Hello and welcome to the Lordly Verdict with me, Mitchell, Lord of my domain. While I've been focusing on Let's Plays, I have been doing other things in the meantime. One of the big things is I went to Kamicon, a comic convention that's within driving distance. It was really quite fun, and going to a con's always an experience. I actually got to talk with the head of a podcast known as Turtles Do It. Hi! And I began thinking, why don't people ever review a con? I mean, he straight out asked me to do that, and I figured I'd do it for him, but I wasn't able to do it on his podcast due to some minor issues, so I'm doing it here. And it's a good idea. Give an idea of your experiences, tell if it's good or not, give people advice on whether or not to head there next year. And for Comic-Con, honestly, it's not that good of a con. Oh, don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was great fun, but cons are always great fun, and it depends on whether or not it adds to or detracts from the experience. In this case, it detracts a little, and honestly, for what it costs, it's a bit hard to justify. Okay, let's go first. The cost of Comic-Con is $45 for a 3-day ticket, $35 if you pre-register. They're always expensive. You also have transportation, which is a whole nother issue. If you live local, you just have to drive there. If not, you've got hotel fees and meat. And then let's not even get into meals. Now, I went to a local restaurant called Todd's Urban Bar, which was their Public Urban Bar, which was their attempt to make pub into an acronym. It's essentially $20 a day, and you have to pay for parking, which is $8 cash up front, and that is expensive. That's not getting the merch. Now, it's about the price of a bigger con at like Dragon Con or something, and parking deserves an special thing. If you pay credit, like I did on the first day, you get money off of parking if you buy your meals at the local restaurants. So I went there to a local restaurant and got my meal. A single burger and fries cost $18 at Todd's Public Urban Bar. Do not go there. The hamburgers are not worth it. I have had Kobe burgers that were cheaper than that. I had Kobe burgers in Birmingham that are cheaper than that. It is actually cheaper, and I'm not kidding here, to go into the place and buy food at the con. I have never seen that before. They could not hike the prices up enough to match the prices of the local restaurant. That is unfair and wrong. Now, what's even worse is when you pay cash up front, you don't get that discount. So you'd have to pay $20 a pop for a burger, fries, and a drink. No. I'll check again if I'm in the area sometime and see if one of the other restaurants, such as Mugshots, is cheaper, but this is the only con I've been to where buying food at the con was a deal. So yeah, the con is expensive, and do you get bang for your buck? Well, it has all the standard cons standby. You've got guest panels, you got fan panels, you got games like dodgeball and a whole little story arc they did, and other little mini things. Problem is, it doesn't have enough of them at one time. Oh, well, let me clarify. It has 3 or 4 things going on at one time. I mean enough overall to really give you good options. Let's look at the guest. You've got Laugh Out Loud Comedy Group, you've got That Sci-Fi Guy, you've got Doug Walker, you got Team 4-Star, you got Little Karibo, you got Funimation, you got Vertical Inc. They're all really cool, except they fit into groups. Group 1's Laugh Out Loud. They do everything on the first day and then leave. Group 2's That Sci-Fi Guy and Doug Walker. Sci-Fi Guy poofs mostly at the end of the first day. You've got Doug Walker panels. Team 4-Star and Little Karibo. They're actually 2 panels back to back with both of them standing there. Little Karibo hung out at the Team 4-star panel. Team 4-star panel hung out at the Little Karibo panel. You got Funimation, which is... It's actually 2 or 3 voice actors, but overall they're Funimation. The one I really liked was Andriana Yu, who also runs a group of visual novels called Sake Visual. I've got her stuff over here, and I might show it to you in a sec. And you've got Vertical Ink, which is a manga company. Now, if you'd note, they go pretty easily into those 5 groups, and you get through them pretty quickly. Most of their panels are straight Q&As. No tricks, no gimmicks, just you put the guys in front of the camera, you get the funny going, and those are awesome. Each one of those people, with one notable exception, is great at Q&A. Vertical Ink, not so good at Q&A. I love the company. They do blackjack. They're doing Kisei Monogatari. If you have not heard of Kisei Monogatari, go look it up. It's hilarious and awesome. It's done by the same guy who does Sayonara Zetsuba Sensei. The anime's pure gold, and they're doing the novel. Actually, I'm going to be clear here. Go look up the Bakemonogatari torrent on Bakesuki. BAKA-TASUKI. It's kind of debatable legality, but they're probably going to have it up until Kisei Monogatari comes out. So you get to read the novel in advance, and it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. It's uniquely formatted, and they have the original author helping with the English translation. And they're nice enough to do that. But back to the issue. That part's awesome. The bad problem? They're done on the first day. The Q&As are all focused on the main room on Friday, and then you've got a second room with a few guest panels. I mean, some of them are good, some of them not so much. They've got a guide to plot cosplay and beginner to voice acting. Now, I went into beginner voice acting. It was everyone gets in front of a mic and makes a silly voice. Similarly, the improv panel was whose line is it anyway, with everyone in the room. No, they literally pulled a skit from whose line is it anyway. It's actually a standard improv thing. What they do is you have a guy standing on stage. The next guy walks in. Guy standing on stage turns and says, "Hello, Suicide Boy." Second guy then does a little skit of him being Suicide Boy. And yes, whose line is it anyway actually did Suicide Boy. He was hilarious because they got a genius actor doing it. And it goes on for an hour, and there's a guy who does impressions of Wheatley. No, not the actual voice actor of Wheatley. A guy pretending to be Wheatley doing a silly skit. And they've got a radio station. Then they've got fan panels, which are fan panels. They're very niche and very focused. And again, they're fan panels. These aren't high-profile fans either. It's just some guy they can grab. Like, the panel I went to was the ninja panel, which is, are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles actual ninjas? Yay or nay? Yay! Nay. The nays win. They aren't ninjas. Is this guy a ninja? Boo. He's not a ninja. Is this guy a ninja? Yay! The only part that was really cool was it said, "Is Naruto a ninja?" And the entire panel went, no. There's a thing on Fate Stay Night, which is a guy doing a course on what all the characters were actually like in history, which is something you can get on Wikipedia. And they specifically focused on Fate Zero. Next day is, all the guests who did stuff yesterday do it again. Laugh Out Loud moves to the 3rd floor ballroom and then goes and heads home. One of the other areas becomes complete gimmicks. The beginning cosplay and stuff? It's even gimmickier. They did all their good panels like that in the first day, and then there's just interview. And that's the issue. It has all the standbys, but nothing stand out. The guests are awesome, but you can only go through the same guest so many times. They spin it all on the first day. Second day, it's a repeat, and Sunday's filler. For the Q&A panels, well, they're awesome. Doug Walker and co. Hilarious. Laugh out loud. Hilarious, but a bit gimmicky. I actually found the let's just goof off in front of a mic thing they did. It was actually more fun than when they did a full improv skit and all. It's like watching a live Whose Line Is Anyway, only with guys who weren't quite as good. I mean, I love them. I'm going to Google them. But they're not Whose Line Is It Anyway. They actually did some traditional stand-up that I walked into, and it fell flat. I will say this. They are hilarious. They are at the best when they just banter. They just sit there, talk with each other, and play off each other, and they're awesome at that. Trying to do a real stand-up, it felt scripted and fake. And that was problematic. Everyone else is good. Vertical Ink wasn't so good. I just can't recommend it. The problem was they got an editor to do public relations, and you can tell he wasn't really into it. The panel was pure and simple. All right, we're here to announce all the new books we're doing. We have book A. We have book B. We have book C. Thank you for coming. It felt like they got Ben Stein to do it. I mean, seriously, it's like you could see Ben Stein doing it. And that wasn't fun. The only thing I was really excited on was Kisei Monogatari. I actually went up to the guy and said, okay, to quote Futurama, shut up and take my money. And I support Vertical Ink. I bought their stuff at the con. Actually bought Parasite Eve. It's over there. Some days I wish I was Mr. Fantastic. Well, there's the dealer room before I get over the summary, and it was smallish. I mean, it has all the standards. Places for manga. Each of the DVDs have one booth. Or each of the guests have one booth for DVDs. I am looking at my script right now, and I flubbed it. I flubbed the script when I have cue cards. I'm not good at this. And Nostalgia Critic didn't have a booth, but everyone else did. They have autograph signings as per the schedule, which was really hard to get an NC DVD because he could only accept cash since his credit card thing broke. But he was real nice to me, and he actually let me skip in line to run over, grab a 20 bucks for my credit card, run over, and he even signed it which was really nice of him. Doug Walker's a great guy, and he really cares about his fans, even if his character is a plain-out jerk. And it has lots and lots of generic merch. T-shirts, Gundam kits, and any manga they could fit on a truck, which is cool but gimmicky. It's the kind of thing you see at any con. It's like you expect you'll see food, and you expect to see this same section of Gundams. They actually had Zoids, which is new-ish, but kind of If you're into that stuff, you can find it at Books A Million. It wasn't worth the entrance fee to the con just to get your Zoid, or the fact that the dealer's room had a line that wrapped around the building. The niche stuff was neat, but there wasn't enough of it. You got one group booth each. Even the video game booth was pretty flea markety, and with very, very few import games, which I was looking forward to and surprised that I didn't see. In fact, hold on one second. Okay, I will show you all the stuff I could find to buy. They had some N64 games that I couldn't get, but I got this by the Nostalgia Critic. Can you see it? Yep, you can see it. I got this by Andrea Yu. Again signed. And finally I got Parasite Eve. That cost me another $45 to get all that. And I could have gotten it all online. Yep, I could have gotten it all online and saved myself the trip. But I got to see all these people and I got their numbers. So that was cool, but all in all, my opinion of the con, unless you're a super big fan of one of the guests, which I actually am, it's just not worth it. It's not worth a huge trip, and even if you do, pick a day, stay for it, unless you pre-register. Maybe pick 2 days. Friday was a good day for fan panels. Saturday would have been a good day for the Q&A. Unfortunately for me, I picked Friday for the Q&A, and Saturday was kind of hard on what to do. I actually straight out skipped Sunday and just goofed off and played video games. This is the first con I've ever been to where I felt happy over skipping a day. That's my review of Kamicon. Do I recommend it? Only if you're local and stay away from the Strip. Uptown, specifically, is what it's called. Will I go back next year? Yeah, if I'm in the area and can get there. If not, I'll skip it and get another one. In fact, my big regret on this, I actually called off work on Sunday, officially scheduling it, explaining to them it was to go to a con, and you know what? I should not have. I should have worked on Sunday. It would have been a great time to make up my con money. Unfortunately for me, I did not. So, I'm out $90 from the con. I hope you have fun at whatever cons you go to. If I go to another con, I'll explain my opinion of it. Kamicon, middle of the road con, only go if you're in the area. But thank you for watching The Lordly Verdict, and check out the Turtles Do It podcast. See you next time. Oh, and one last thing. If you're seeing this from the Turtles Do It podcast, thank you for watching.